Alex.
Brendan.
We are going to do something that we probably should have done a long time ago. That
Decades ago.
It just seems obvious for us to do.
Oh yeah.
But I was sitting back looking at some old anime, thinking to myself, you know what that is? That lady's waifu material.
Bam.
So, at long last, Alex and I are going to list our top 5 anime waifus.
These are we spent a long period of time culminating and combing through all of our previous watchings and multiple watching.
Our extensive experience.
Our hanging anime scrolls on our walls. and basically kind of like kind of going through all of our past history of anime that we watched over the decades. And while we enjoy, a lot of the more interesting type of anime, some violence, some funny and things like that, we always have a soft spot in our hearts for the ladies of the anime universe, especially the ones that we end up having a specific affinity and connection with. An
affection, if you will.
Yes.
In different context, let's say. Yeah. I don't know what Alex's list is, so I'm trying to get him.
It's basically we decided this was a great idea. This is Brendan's idea, as you can tell, because it's a good idea.
That's not, Alex, I'm pretty sure your topics usually get most of the hits on this show, to be completely honest.
It's just me going through 4chan and Twitter and being like, oh, this is a good idea. Let me go punch off the song. Okay.
Like, I went to the theater to see Godzilla -1, never planned on talking about it with you. You watched it on Netflix, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's talk about it.
Great fucking movie.
You care about PlayStation and stuff like that. That got views. You care about video games. The weirdest one that yours was a miss on that I don't get. It's one of our least popular episodes.
The noodles?
No, the Gachapon.
Oh.
17 views. That was like a weird. Maybe it was like the wrong day to post it or something, but that was a weird one. I was shocked.
People were probably off that week for vacation.
Old Man and the Elvis impersonator got more views. No, the one with the ramen did fine.
Yeah. Well, I think it was taste testing also.
Yeah.
So anyway, if we could find the Steven Seagal energy drinks again, and we could prove that they're real.
So yeah, do you wanna kick us off with number 5?
Yeah. How about we do let's do our honorable mentions first.
Do our honorable mentions first. Okay.
Most honorable mention.
Usually that's between number 2 and number 1, but okay, we can do it. We can start it off here.
Actually, let's do that. Yeah, good idea. Let's do that.
That's how Watch Mojo does it.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
No, we can do these ones didn't make the list. Let's do that because I don't have photos queued up for that.
Okay. So basically, we ended up deciding to go top 5 anime waifus, and we'll be doing the countdown or count up to number 1. And we will start off with our most honorable mentions that we of 2D waifus we want to bring home to mama and papa, and then they will look at us and be like, we should have had him committed.
How old is this girl?
Stalling for time. So my very first most honorable mention will be going to Haruko Haruhara from everybody's favorite Gainax anime FLCL or Furikuri or Furikuri. Only 6 episodes.
I love how Furikuri, when we were watching Furikuri, Furikuri was what Furikuri was what everybody called it. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, because that's the Fulikuli, it's the Japanese pronunciation of Fulikuli. That's what it's technically called. Mm-hmm. Then it showed up on Adult Swim, and it became FLCL. And I was like, and that was the abbreviation.
Yeah.
God damn it. It wasn't
I don't
the
even know if
title.
Yeah, I don't even know if anybody actually then continued that pronunciation, called it Filsil or Fulsil or whatever. You know how they do, because it's like the SNES, and then people in like Europe called it the SNES.
Yeah,
that type of shit.
Not into that.
So yeah, basically my honorable mention is Haruko from Furikuri. Basically, she's kind of that older woman, kind of not really older woman because she's like late teens, early 20s age bracket and stuff like that. But she's kind of harkens back to that, that trope where you're the young, very young boy, not like young, but like, early teens type of boy, and you catch your eye for like the older girl who's like 4 or 5 years older than you or something like that. It's like your best friend's older sister of some sort. Because there's a lot of movies, there's been a lot of movies that kind of have that same kind of thing and stuff. But at the same time, she has this sort of unique mysteriousness about her. It's like she's really cool. She plays, bass guitar. She's got that cool scooter, the Vespa. Where's she from? She knows a bunch of people and a bunch of people know her, but you don't really know what that relationship is and stuff like that.
She's from a different school. And nobody else has met her, but she's my girlfriend, technically.
Yeah. We're going to prom together. You guys don't know her. She's
I
really
will
cool.
say I do have a Furikuri female on my top 5. So stand by, everybody. No, Haruko she's a little too, for me, in my female taste, she's a little too aggressive, I guess, for my to be on my even make it into my special mention waifu list. A little violent for me. That's all I'll say. But I understand.
I like things a little dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. And I like
bludgeoned with instruments.
I was gonna say I can totally see being smitten by Haruko because she's fun. I'll just put it this way: I would not kick Haruko out of bed. She would.
She's definitely going to be that kind of chick that you have a fun long weekend with. And then you never end up seeing her again.
Well, yeah, and you'll want to see her again.
Yeah.
And then she's like, after that weekend, no more calls aren't returned. She's gone. Like, it's over.
Yeah. And then you're like, this burning sensation. I need to go to see a doctor.
So how many special mentions do you have? Just one?
I just have that one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then I'm going to pick.
Yeah.
I will pick.
You could do all of yours if you got special mentions.
No. I mean, no. I'll do the one. The
best of the best. The best of the non-placing ones.
The best of the non-placing ones is Shoko Nishimiya from The Shape of Voice, or what's it called? Silent Voice, depending on the translation. I like The Shape of Voice because she's mute, or not mute. Sorry, she's deaf, so she's
deaf.
Sign language, and she's just a very endearing character who is simultaneously in need of help, but also totally competent and takes care of herself. And in the end is the one who really does the most help. And one of the things about The Shape of Voice that I really appreciate is that while it's structured to sort of be a romance, it isn't. The two main characters, the guy and Shoko, there really isn't any romantic tension between the two of them. It has more to do with mending a broken relationship that's in like more of a friendship context. At the same year this came out was Your Name was the same year as this film.
Oh, okay.
Your Name overshadowed this. I think this is a monumentally better film. And Shoko is a fucking cutie pie, heartwarmer. Soft spot for Shoko. But yeah, so now that we got that out of the way,
okay,
shit's about to get real.
Oh yeah, boys.
Before we go any further, just remember this is all mostly tongue in cheek, so don't send us any angry emails or leave mean comments because Alex will be sad. Actually, no, I'll be sad. Alex will laugh at them.
Number 5. My number 5 comes in and is Ryoko Matoi from Kill la Kill, the protagonist. Yeah. So
I'm seeing a trend now already. We moved for special mention. Holy shit.
So she is like I said, previously, is more of a gutsy character than Haruka is. I think more spunkiness, I would say. She's seen as the new student showing up to her school, which she ended up having to go and deal with the main antagonist, Satsuki, I think is her name, in which they end up kind of fighting each other for domination of, there's the issue about like we have to combine the two blades of the scissors and such like that. It's been a while. I'm trying to remember as much of it, but basically it's kind of like, it's interesting because while she's the protagonist, she's more of the anti-hero because her clothing, armor, outfit, whatever you want to kind of call it, is dark, and then the protagonist's is actually white to kind of give off that opposing, kind of style look, while the colors are kind of mismatched based upon their actual character, personalities and stuff like that. But she also is, has a good heart for basically her little sidekick, which I forgot what her name is and stuff like that. But the
Mako?
one who kind of, Mako, yeah. So yeah, she's kind of this spunky kind of, character, and I always thought she was kind of a cute kind of chick. She's kind of like the kind that's like, she has a little bit also, a little bit of the what's that that term that they use for like kind of like the bossy mean girl, but actually like
Sundari.
Sundari. She's a little bit of Sundari in there, but not too much, as opposed to some other characters in other shows. But she's
there. She goes.
Yeah, and she's also got that kind of like that. I don't know. There's this certain style and look about her that I kind of like. That's kind of endearing to me and stuff like that. Reminding me of that. Was that the one character in Street Fighter, Sakura, has a kind of like that little sailor outfit type of thing and stuff like that. Which I kind of enjoy playing as sometimes. Yeah,
wasn't it like Street Fighter 3?
I think so.
Or like Street Fighter New Class, something like that.
I never got to play her until I believe I got Capcom versus SNK 2001. I think it was called, or Mark of Millennium. And I picked her, and she kind of had a little bit of like Ryu and Ken kind of moveset, but more muted and stuff. But yeah. So yeah, that's my number 5.
Well, I think that you're being consistent. So my number 5, I'll tear the Band-Aid off. This is the youngest character on my list.
I'm going to jail!
I would be remiss to not include a character from K-On! And my favorite, the K-On! Girl who stole my heart was Tsumugi Kotobuki, also known as Mugi-chan.
Mugi-chan. And her little cakes and cookies and tea.
And I just like her. She's got a nice aesthetic because she's like Dutch or something. she's
Western. Yeah,
like
I think
Finnish or something. She's got a bit of a
European
edge. But she's enough of a weirdo that I like how she was like, I've never been mean to anyone before. I need an opportunity to be mean to somebody. She's just like
that's the extent of her meanness.
No, she's just super cute. I mean, this is my otaku selection. Like, this is the like wholly inappropriate choice, but I had to go down that road and be like, I mean, by the end of this series, I'm pretty sure she's almost legal. They graduate, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, different country, different rules. One in Rome.
So yeah, Tsumugi Kotobuki Mugi-chan is, and I mean, just look at her. Look at how funny she is. She's doing little fish face stuff.
Mm-hmm. a lot there, and also it's kind of funny because there's a lot of Mugi gifs and memes around the internet. and K-On! In general, just because I think it's over the years it's become very endearing to a lot of people, and also there's just a lot of great facial reactions by all of the different characters that they can work for any situation.
I should say that the two series that I've mentioned so far, Shape of Voice and K-On! Are both animated by Kyoto Animation. So there's something about the way they got their ladies drawn over there that's like very heartwarming.
You know what you guys are doing. Keep doing it.
And they're all ladies over there.
Ladies.
Kyoto Anime is all more largely women.
Mostly female,
as I understand it. So
and the ladies know how to draw the cute girls. So we are not complaining. We are huge fans.
Big fans.
Huge fan. The best fans.
Oh my God!
Greatest fans ever.
We're not going to talk about the debate. But the only thing I wanted to say is that it was like waiting for somebody to do play their greatest hit song, because when Kamala was talking about the rallies, Trump literally is like, I don't know what she's talking about. We have the best rallies, incredible rallies, the best rallies we've ever seen in history. And I was like, he did it. He did the thing. It was great. It was worth it just to see that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I went to bed at 9:00. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, good for you.
That was the night. Since.
No, you were paying attention.
Was it Tuesday?
That was on Tuesday, but that was the night the Cubs won against the Dodgers.
Oh, I had more pressing things. Cubs games.
I mean, it was a very amazing victory. That was a great game. Maybe the game of the year.
Just watching the Sox get to that all-time leaders.
100 losses.
I think it's like a 62 or 64 team of some sort.
Yeah. Anyway, Alex. Number 4.
Number 4, Pleasure Town, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
My number 4 comes in. She's a bit of a retro at this point, I would say, retro old school character. And she is a member of a troupe of other young ladies. And they are all very cute. But the one that stole my heart of this group is Ami Mizuno, also known as Sailor Mercury.
Oh, yep. Sailor Mercury.
So everybody knows the Sailor Scouts.
Nice.
A lot of guys are very big on Sailor Mars because she's got the fire ability and stuff. Yeah, you're a Mars boy.
Dark.
A lot of guys, they also enjoy Sailor Moon, and Venus and stuff like that. But
Sailor V. Nice. Big fan of Sailor V myself.
But Sailor Mercury, for some reason, the first I used to watch a little bit of it just out of sheer curiosity.
I've watched plenty of Sailor
younger.
Moon. I'm not. You're in good company, Alex.
I was in grade school. And there was something about her that just kind of caught my eye because I found her to be very she's like the very brainy, bookwormy type of quiet, shy girl in the school. She was the first Sailor Scout, I think, that Moon ended up going and kind of recruiting to her cause, I guess, or meeting up or getting to know and stuff like that. And I kind of enjoy the fact that she has a short haircut, but it's I'm not a huge necessarily big fan of like girls with like short hair, but I like hers, which is more like, it's not like super short. It's more like kind of like a little bobby type of thing and stuff like that. And she's got like ice powers and stuff. There's there's something unique about her that I can't quite put my finger on it, to be honest. But I think it's like the shy, bookwormy, kind of nerdy, I guess, personality of hers that kind of just appeals to me for this character. And I think, I know everybody else has their own little costume and stuff, but I just find her skirt to be a little shorter than everybody else's. It's a very cute thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like kind of overblowing the whole thing, but I just kind of, I've always kind of, if I see all of them lined up, my eye just goes directly to her for some reason. I can't really describe it. It's this weird male primal attractiveness thing of some sort.
I think that there is the diminutive part of her. I don't remember Sailor Moon incredibly well, but I remember her being the more docile one, especially. So you just worked your way through Haruko and through what's her name from Kill la Kill,
Ryoko.
So you've had two pretty aggressive women. Now it's like a palate cleanser.
It is.
She's the ginger in your meal.
She's a slice of ginger on your tongue.
Yeah. So you're gonna like take some time out. Have something a little bit more low maintenance, and then you're gonna break her heart after 6 months. But she'll be wiser because of it.
Yeah. She is the kind that I could see settling down with, growing old with, and running our own Dunburi shop.
Dunburi.
Yeah. So.
Well, excellent. I actually I didn't even think about Sailor Moon, so I'm very happy that you mentioned Sailor Moon.
Okay.
Because now that you mentioned Sailor Mercury, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I had a thing for Sailor Mars not because of her sailor form, but she was the Shinto shrine girl.
Yes.
And she had her like Japanese, like the Shinto uniform.
Like the robe, like the special type of like.
The robe and the pants and all that stuff. And the like flag thing.
Mm-hmm. Speaking from personal experience, the girls who wear those in real life are kind of cute. So.
Oh, okay.
I come across them. I came across one and I was just like, oh.
I thought you were going to say.
And then Erica slapped me.
I thought you were going to ruin my fetish and be like,
no.
As I mentioned before, I also have an FLCL selection.
Oh,
Furikuri. Oh. My pick from FLCL Furikuri is
your number 4.
This is number 4.
All right, here we go. Number 4 for Brendan.
Mamimi Samijima.
Yes.
Now, the reason for this is that she is kind of the definition of I can save her. I can fix her.
I can fix her, bro.
I can fix Mamimi. She is she's betrayed and broken and lonely and doesn't know what to do with herself, and I'm like, I got you, baby doll. I'm not
Step into my van.
No, the thing is that it's genuine. Like, she needs someone genuine. She doesn't know what to do with her feelings because she was abandoned by her boyfriend, and so she kind of latches on to Naota to because as his little brother, which also makes it kind of cute because she's like making out with, she's like 17 and he's like 15. Not a huge age difference, but still.
No.
Like, when I was 14 when I saw this, and I was like, I wish I had his 17-year-old girlfriend.
Can't wait until next year when I'm 15. 15 comes around.
But like, I love her outfit. I love her attitude. I love her style, her outlook. She's got this like lost brokenness to her that's really attractive.
Yeah. Just that dangling, ashing cigarette, and she always is wearing like that school uniform, but it does never seem like she ever ends up going to class or anything like that.
Right. No, she's like a dropout. She likes cats. So yeah, Mamimi was an awakening as a adolescence. I was like, ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also, I think at this point we can both agree that Furikuri is a good coming of adolescence type of show that's also kind of wrapped up in all that zany goofiness and stuff. But when you kind of peel away the layers like an onion, it has that central thing about it's a crazy period of time in this kid's life where he's kind of dealing with all these emotions and other women that he has.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's like puberty, the anime. and it's wild and weird and confusing and not entirely satisfying, but still good.
Gainax will never ever make anything like it again.
Well, Gainax, I don't even think barely exists anymore. I think they filed for bankruptcy. Anno took everyone good to Kara, so, and then basically sued them to get. Sorry, random aside.
This is the anime episode here.
So Anno basically said, you guys are weird, where you have to start a new company to do the new Evangelion films. Took Kazuya Tsurumaki, took like Yoshiyuki Sotomoto, all of the like great classic, all the names at Gainax came with Anno to Studio Kara.
Yeah.
Then, once they had money, Anno was like, we want to start getting our properties back. So he bought, Kara outright owns Evangelion again, as far as I know. I think that Gunbuster is back at Kara. I think that Nadia is back. The one they didn't get, because there's a whole thing from Anno where he was like, we began investigating how to reclaim my films and my work, as well as work of the staff that now works at Kara.
Yeah.
Furikuri conspicuously is not part of that, and you know who owns it? Production IG.
Are they the ones that did the more recent one?
Yes. Production IG bought, and like Production IG was a co-producer and a partner on the Furikuri. But they bought it from Gainax, sold it outright to make more money to try to hold the company together. And then Production IG, which is a pretty defined connection to the West.
Right. Yeah.
Cartoon Network is like, hey, can we do this? Kazuya Tsurumaki says, I don't want anything to do with it. Everything that was meant to be said has been said in the original Furikuri. And now you've got all the bullshit that happened after that. So,
yeah. He's a Japanese George Lucas in that sense. He's like, this is fucking sequel shit.
Well, yeah, exactly.
in that sense, But yeah, it's interesting because sometimes I kind of look at stuff that IG makes and I kind of think, it's very Gainax-y looking and feeling, and then I'm like, no, it's not, because it's Gainax doesn't exist anymore. Anno basically went to Gainax and he's like, look at me, Kara is Gainax now.
Like Production IG from like the 80s through the early 2000s was kind of like the name in big budget anime. Like you had Ghost in the Shell 1 and 2, you had stuff like Blood the Last Vampire, you had the Patlabor films. They were like big. I mean, they did the animation for Kill Bill. You know, like they were like the Japanese studio. No, not so much. They don't have the same weight that they used to have. And as far as, and anyway, number 3, Alex.
Number 3. All right, we are moving on to number 3. All right, my number 3 pick. We had a nice little piece of ginger, and now we're gonna go right back into a super duper spicy maki roll.
Okay.
And bringing out the big guns. We're already talking about fucking Gainax, right? Okay. We're talking about Gainax, right?
Oh, God. Here we go.
You know her. You love her. I want her to crush my balls. Everybody's favorite. Ava number 2 plug suit pilot.
There we go.
Asuka Langley, sorry.
Yep.
Asuka is the quintessential Sundari. She is a feisty Westerner stuck in Japan. German in Japan. We're getting the old boys back together. She's a ginger. She is giving crap to everybody. She doesn't care. She's a complete,
she's a little
crazy
sex pot too.
Yes, and she's got the little thingies in her hair. I don't know what they are and stuff.
They're
but
like the brain conductors, but yes.
Yeah. Basically, she wears them like outside of the suit and stuff like that. She has this like fieriness, but also it's kind of this shell that she kind of puts up because of her own, I guess, insecurities or loneliness, that she has to put on this facade and wear it as an armor and such. Another kind of case you would say that like, bro, I can fix her, and it's like, no, she's gonna fix you, bro.
This is the gif that you want her to look down at you and call you pathetic while she steps on your balls.
And I'm like the meme where the girl drops her like food and she's just like, ugh. That would be me. Also, she has a very memorable first reveal on that flotilla when they're bringing was it Ava 2 to Japan? I think that is.
Well, they meet her on with her when her skirt flies up.
Yes,
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like that pose and stuff like that. So it's basically like
Asuka strikes.
So she's somebody that like I know that like you have more affinity to other people and that stuff, but
there may yet be another Anime Evangelion reference on this very episode.
but for me, it's always pretty much been Asuka from that show. And anybody off of that show is Asuka, but she's also like my number 3 because she also pilots giant robots and as you remember from Anime Central 2001. There's a famous quote by somebody says, "I like giant robots that blow things up." Why do you like anime? Because giant robots that blow up things.
Why do you like anime?
Oh, because there's things that explode and fighting robots. Big giant robots that destroy things.
That's a really bad reason.
I would definitely Asuka over Rei. We've kind of unanimously been a Team Asuka duo.
I've always
the 90s.
Yeah, I've always kind of felt that you had a little bit more of an affinity towards Rei though in some aspects, but I'm completely
No, Asuka was always my go-to. Even just her being a redhead, I was like,
a ginger.
I'm down. I'm into
Crikey,
it.
look at that ginger. She's all hot and bothered. She's got a kick you in the balls, mate.
I mean, like, but in terms of the women, my loyalty will always be to everyone's favorite.
Is this your number 3?
Maya Ibuki.
Maya Ibuki. Oh,
the bridge babe.
The bridge babe. She's kind of got she's got a little bit of a hairstyle kind of like Sailor Mercury.
Unfortunately, she doesn't play for the same team that I do.
Oh.
So maybe next time.
That's fine. It's okay. Actually, why don't you just have a friend come on over too?
I mean, Ritsuko's pretty hot too.
I mean,
so
she's got Brigitte Bardot type of Brigitte Bardot.
The funny thing about Ritsuko is that
Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah. With Ritsuko, you know that the carpet doesn't match the curtains. They actually,
in case you were wondering,
they actually are like, oh yeah, let's demonstrate this. Would
you like to show the viewing audience?
There's just, I think it's a shot of her. No, it'd be creepy. It's a shot of her when she's a little kid and she's got brown hair, and then they show it when she's the entire anime. It's a weird kind of thing to do because they do there's an episode that's all like 15 years in the it's like 30 years in the past. Mm-hmm. It's like the founding of Nerve, and in that episode there's child Ritsuko with her mom. And child Ritsuko has brown hair. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of like, it's a weird detail to kind of sneak in there that's never brought up again. But I'm going off into a little bit, the next two are kind of dark horses that I probably, you might predict this one though. This is my more dated character selection. I think this is the oldest anime that I'm referencing.
Mine was Sailor Mercury, so she will be the oldest one.
I think this is older, actually.
Oh, dear
or maybe the same.
Astro Boy?
One of my... make it even creepier. Can I have the boy-shaped robot, please?
Those are a nice pair of boots you got there, son. Speedo's looking a little tight.
No, Noah Izumi from Pat Labor.
Oh, okay. Pat Labor appears.
Noah Izumi,
number 3.
Been a fan for a long time. That was like in the 90s that I started watching Pat Labor. Pat Labor's one of my favorite franchises, even though it's just kind of sucks now and like nobody knows what to do with it. But that era of Pat Labor OVAs, television series, and the first 2 movies are just fantastic.
You could a warm, comfy hoodie you can always go back to and enjoy.
Any episode. There's an episode of Patlabor, the TV series, where they basically they end up staying overnight at like they're trying to do demolition, and there's a ghost there, and it's just this weird aside episode, and it's maximum comfy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just great. But anyway, Noah Izumi. The reason I like Noah. What? Why is there a censored picture? I don't remember anything unsavory happening in Patlabor.
They go to a hot spring.
Let's see. Oh my God. It thought it was one of those. That's what I want to do to Noah. Although she looks kind of
cramped in here. Can I stretch my legs?
She looks a little disappointed, so that might be exactly what would
Fell
happen.
Asleep.
No, it'd be like 2 seconds in, and then she'd be like, "Oh, really? Seriously? We're done?" No, Noah Izumi.
Where's the ejection button?
She's doing it in the Patlabor cockpit. Nice.
There's no room though.
There's a seat
next to the pilot seat.
No, you sit in the pilot's. Never mind. I'm not going to give you
okay. If you're
great...
going to do that, okay. Yeah.
Anyway, Noah Izumi, she's just like a kind-hearted, good person. She cares about her friends. She cares about her teammates. She's driven. She's accommodating to even like the criminals, the Patlabor criminals. I mean, usually it's just some kind of idiot who is sad that their wife left them or something like that.
That one.
Most of the time, it's not like a major
disgruntled employee.
It's mostly like disgruntled employees that the Patlabor people have to fight. But that's part of what's so endearing. But that's what's so endearing about Patlabor in general and Noah specifically is that like she's just like a normal person. Mm-hmm. She's not like magical. She doesn't have any special abilities. The robots that she pilots are relatively small versus an Evangelion. It's not a giant robot. It's just a robot. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate her spunkiness.
Yeah, she also fits that tomboy niche.
Yeah,
you know, she's got the uniform, the little hair, the attitude. You know, trying to compete with the other guys and the other girl.
But she's not unfeminine.
Right, yeah.
And the other thing is there's an episode where they go out drinking and she like basically everyone passes out and she just keeps drinking. She's the daughter of a bar owner, so she can hold her liquor.
Home field advantage.
Home field advantage. She's just like I've always just found her to be a very endearing character that I would love to take out for a drink.
And another drink, and then another drink. She's just like, why aren't you keeping up with me?
Right.
Why are you on the floor?
Oh my God. All right. So that's number
3. That was number 3.
Oh my God. All right. We're in the home stretch.
All right. Home stretch. All right. So in second place, this will be my number 2 pick. She's going to be one that doesn't really get mentioned a lot, if not much or any. And she comes from an anime that shares a title with another one, but is lesser known. My number 2 pick is Rory Mercury from the anime Gate. Not Steins Gate, which is the more popular one with the Gate name, but just regular Gate.
Kurisu from Steins Gate was on my short list.
Okay. I've never seen Steins Gate.
But yes. So sorry.
No.
Rory Mercury.
Yeah, but it's Gate. It's anime. I would say probably from. Oh, when was this? Probably 6 years, maybe 7 years ago, or something like that.
Senpai.
Yeah.
How old is Rory Mercury?
Here's the thing. You can't get me because I am good on a technicality. Rory Mercury is over 900 years old.
She's that character. She is that character.
She is that character, and she has got that costume. So she's basically this kind of like a demigoddess in the series. She's lived for almost 1,000 years, like I said. She does have that like very young teenage girl look, and she's dressed up like a gothic Lolita with a giant bow. It looks like cat ears.
Oh, God.
But she also has this massive like scythe that she like, just slices and dices through enemies and stuff like that. And she kind of meets the main characters in the series and such like that. Kind of toying with them, messing around with them, but then also being kind of like an overseer for them and such like that. Like I said,
is she a bad guy?
She kind of shows up originally as kind of like an antagonist and kind of plays against them and stuff, but then eventually just ends up kind of joining them and going with them and such like that. Like I was saying, the show Gate itself is has a little bit of a notoriety about it, just because the subject matter deals with the JSDF, Japanese Self-Defense Force, and it kind of paints them in a very positive light, which a lot of people in Japan at the time were kind of very about and such like that. And it basically kind of brings them into an isekai type of universe in the series, in which they just destroy dragons and knights and stuff with hellfire missiles, tanks, automatic weapons and stuff like that. It basically, if you watch the series, it kind of explains it and such. But she's also very enamored with the main character in the show, almost to the point where she tries to kind of take her away with him one night in a ryokan. So, but she had the same immensely. But
God,
at the
I
same,
wish that were me.
But she herself, in terms of image, she hits the gothic Lolita box. She checks that. Also the practically very old immortal type of demigoddess type box. Also
with the body of a teenager.
Well, she took her first head at that age too, like the Immortals and Highlander. But she has this semi-sexy cuteness thing about her too, with the outfit and things like that. So, but she has some interesting powers and such like that too. So,
I bet she does.
she.
置いてくれ羨ましすぎます隊長いいから降りろあらあだこら照準に触るな触んなって羨ましいっす嬉しくねえし
She's an interesting thing. She kind of, I think, I've kind of had this kind of like interest in like gothic Lolita type of cosplayers and stuff, and she kind of takes care of that type of thing. So that is that's my number 2 pick on my list.
Yeah, no, like the gothic Lolita thing. Although no, that was you made me go to steampunk events at Anime Central. They kind of fell flat. You didn't make me go to gothic Lolita things.
Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I liked steampunk initially, and then when it just got a little too silly and a little too full of itself, when everything had a something punk attached to it, I was like, can we just stay in our lane?
Hey, cyberpunk will always be the best punk.
So I think it was the first punk too.
Was it?
It must be. I think Mike Pondsmith made it back in the 80s. Yeah, so it has to be.
When he coined the term.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is another one that may or may not be lesser known, but this was another character that when I first saw her, this is one of my top 5 anime. When I first saw her, I was thinking instant crush. I think it was still like when I was like 15 or 16 years old. She was a little bit older. Yeah, I don't know that you're familiar with this one. This way, no one will understand what I'm talking about. But Nagi Kirima from Boogie Pop Phantom. And specifically, so there's 2 versions of Nagi. One is from the original, well, there's the book version. That's the original. Mm-hmm. Then there's the 1999 anime Boogie Pop Phantom. That is this Nagi. Mm-hmm. And then there's the 2000 something Boogie Pop and Friends, which was an adaptation of other books, which is this Nagi. Both of them super cute. However, old Nagi Kirima or Kirima Nagi has this severeness to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has more of an edge. This is like soft 2000s bullshit anime. This is hard as nails. Fuck everybody, kicking ass and taking names. Nagi Kirima. She's sort of like an investigator. Her parents are dead, so she lives by herself, and she's driven to investigate the mysteries surrounding Boogie Pop and others. Boogie Pop and others, not Boogie Pop and friends. That's something else. Yeah, I don't know how to. It's you gotta watch it to understand. But she's one of the characters who is sort of like on the cusp of understanding what's going on. Whereas most of the characters in Boogie Pop Phantom have no idea what's happening besides Boogie Pop. And she's driven by justice. She's consumed by it. That's all that she pursues is justice for her and the people around her. And it's just after the truth. And I found her character to be very admirable and very compelling. And also, I just kind of like her haircut. I just really like her character design a lot. I think that
in some of those shots where you have her hair down and then you can see her ear and then it's kind of like down like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very Kusanagi in some shots.
Oh, like Ghost in the Shell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially the one that's right to the left of the larger picture, like right there. You can it's kind of like,
It's funny you mention Motoko Kusanagi. I thought about her. She came through a few times, but ultimately I just wasn't, while she's physically attractive and a cool character, and I love Ghost in the Shell franchise.
You could never have a conversation with her.
Well, she's not, I'm not attracted to her as a person.
Yes.
Whatsoever.
Yes.
I don't want to hang out with her. I don't want to drink with her.
How would a date go sitting in the booth at a Perkins?
She'd just start quoting like Socrates at me or something. And I'd be like, oh God, okay. Just I'd be like, we can have VR sex if you want, but no, she's paying for that shit.
Yeah.
Because she all of her augmentation, she's got plenty of money.
Drizzle.
So yeah, Nagi is I think Boogie Pop Phantom is criminally underrated. I think I showed you when you helped me move. I've got a bunch of animation cells from that.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
I remember,
highly recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it again one day. I definitely do. I know that one of your music videos utilized that Vitamin C's Graduation.
Yep. Which people don't think. That's like deep lore for.
Yeah, that's some deep Culture Dream lore. But like you were saying, I feel like it's an anime. It's a drama heavy, psychological drama heavy series that really, unfortunately, doesn't get mentioned much, if ever.
No, if anything, it
comes
comes up.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but did it kind of come out relatively same time period as like Paranoia Agent?
It was right after Serial Experiments Lane.
Okay. Same studio?
No, different studio.
Okay, but same kind of tone-ish?
Very similar tone.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Lane, here's the thing.
So Lane was the Wii and Boogie Pop was the Wii U.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I would argue that while I think that Boogie Pop Phantom, let's put it this way. Lane is better, but I like Boogie Pop more.
Mm-hmm.
I can objectively look at that and be like, oh, Serial Experiments Lane has a lot more going on, but I really, really love Boogie Pop Phantom. I love the characters. I love the story. It's all about growing up. Like the Boogie Pop Phantom's premise is essentially life changes, things change, and you have to learn to let go of those of the past, because otherwise it will, to quote Vitamin C, and why I use that song. Will the past be a shadow that follows us around? That's kind of the crux of boogie pop, is that like if you let it happen, then nostalgia can be a bad thing.
Not like Asuka though. She would beat my ass. Please more. Anyways. I watched Zom 100 recently on Netflix, which is kind of like Zombieland.
Liz told me
in the
to watch
anime.
that.
Yeah, it was okay. It's basically like they made an anime version of Zombieland with the same amount of like quirkiness and stuff. Out of curiosity, 12 episodes, just like Chainsaw Man. We'll see you season 2 sometime.
Didn't they say like Dorohedoro is coming back finally or something like that?
Yeah, there was finally
After
some
like
rumor.
10 years.
Well, it was the same. I mean, this is anime. We're talking about anime, but I felt like that was kind of my problem with Attack on Titan. I know you went back to watching Attack on Titan. I just couldn't be bothered because I'm like, I would have to basically kind of rewatch almost, just to kind of remember even what it was.
Okay, I went back. I watched the first 3 seasons. And then I stopped because I kept reading the manga, and it was one of those sad states of affairs where the more I read, the more I lost interest. And by the time the manga finished, and it was still like 2 years before the anime did, and I was like, this is gonna be weird. And when I say weird, it's gonna be a divisive ending. I didn't like the ending of the manga. I watched a couple of clips of how they ended what the anime looked like, and I was like, okay, it's the same thing. Moving on. I'm glad I didn't watch that and wait for that the whole time. But anyway, we're already going super long.
Okay, sorry about that, kids.
No. You're all good. But
we're having fun. We're talking about anime. How often do we talk about anime and have fun?
We haven't done welcome to Otaku Narrator, everybody. My name is Brendan.
I'm Alex. After this, we're going to play some Halo.
Yeah, it's the real Alex this time.
Bootleg Dreamcast games. That's what killed the system.
Yeah. Number one.
All right, Alex's number 1 pick. Her compatriot was already mentioned previously on the show.
It's going to be Rei Ayanami, isn't it? It's going to be
Rei Ayanami. But my personal number 1 waifu, who's the queen bee over all of them, is Ritsu Tainaka, the drummer for the Hokago Tea Time band of the Light Music Club, from everybody's favorite, super awesome anime that both he and I, 2 guys in our 40s, love, K-On! Ritsu is, like I said, she's basically the president, I guess, like leader of the Light Music Club in the little high school that the characters all attend. She is the drummer of the band, one of the original members. And she's kind of, I guess you'd say, like Yui's, who's kind of like the main character, I guess Yui would be.
Kind of, but she's just kind of a ditz too.
Yes, she is. She's very endearing. She's kind of like Yui's, like, I guess you would say best friend, sort of. Because she kind of, when Yui's by herself with somebody else from the band, it's usually Ritsu, and many times she has this very spunky, very energetic kind of like, I always got to be doing something type of attitude and such like that. She is one of my she has this particular scene where they go to this like a store of some sort, and she has this great hard hat look on her and stuff like that, which I utilize that.
Your MAL.
Yeah, it's my MAL avatar and stuff. She just has this kind of like, I don't know, this fun spirit that is very endearing to me and such. And she's kind of just a good, kind-hearted person, I think. Yeah,
she's always trying to help her friends.
Yeah, she's always trying to help her friends, and she does have this goofiness and stuff like that, which I think it's something like she can be serious when she needs to be serious and goofy when she needs to be goofy, and I think that's something that you kind of look for in a waifu or significant other and stuff like that. I don't know. We're kind of blurring the lines here in a lot of cases, but
well,
she
wait
also,
a second though.
Yeah.
Just really quick, isn't Mio her best friend? The dark-haired one. That's their best friends,
guess,
right?
But I guess, but she kind of. I mean, I think they're all kind of. I for some reason I feel she like Yui hangs out with her a lot.
Yeah. She's got a giant forehead, though. Are you okay with that?
You know what? If she got rid of the headband,
no, I'm just.
You know
I'm
what?
Just, I made that comment.
You look past any
comment.
of your waifus, possibly shortcomings or any like. It's kind of like the saying that, like, you know, on the chart of like the 1 to 10 chart, there's no true 10. It's basically a 9 that hits certain additional qualities that you prefer.
Sure.
And then they become the 10. I look past the forehead. All right.
No, I was just kidding. I think that Ritsu's extremely adorable.
Thank you.
And as the cousin of a drummer, I appreciate that she is such a cool drummer.
She keeps everybody together on a consistent forward path with her drumming skills.
There you go. She's inspiring.
She's very inspiring. And look how adorable she looks in that little jacket and the scarf.
What you
and
want?
You just want to pat her on the head.
You want the hard hat.
Hard hat. Hard hat Ritsu.
There
she is. There she is. Can we fix it? No,
it's Alex's fetish is just to put a hard hat on a girl with the light on it. It's a very cheap fetish. None of these other contraptions with like leather and chains and whips. It's just like, no, here's just a hard hat.
It's like they have like that like it gets brought up at like the Gooner International Society meeting, and they're like, this isn't even on the list. So yes, Ritsu Tanaka is my go-to waifu that I would enjoy going to a fall festival with, eating some tasty food, listening to some music, and then just walking hand in hand underneath the trees during the fall.
When she turns 18.
Yes, thank you. Upon the advice of my legal counsel.
Well, speaking of turning 18,
time for Brendan's number one.
My number one is Anya Forger from Spy vs. Spy. I'm just kidding.
You lying sack of shit.
No, of course. My number one is Misato Katsuragi.
You want Stifler's mom.
Yeah. No, Misato is even
27, 28?
29.
29.
Misato's a 29-year-old. She was specifically made...
Looking at that wall, brother.
Well, she was specifically made 29 because at the time in 90s Japan, 29 was the last gasp for women to find a husband. At least culturally was what they the perception. Mm-hmm. And so Ano was like, yeah, I want someone who's really at that hard line.
Yep. Stirring at that abyss.
I love Misato. She is prime waifu material. And the reason being is she is exceptionally good at her job. She is a tactician. She is a soldier. She is a caretaker. She does all those things aside when she's trying to fuck the person she's trying to take care of.
Mine is a drummer in a high school band. I would love to see the two of us take them on a double date to Perkins.
Oh, Misato would be into it, though. This is my thing. So while she's exceptionally...
be like, pie.
No, while she's exceptionally professional in every way that has to do with her job, as soon as she's off the clock, she's a fucking party girl.
Mm-hmm.
And that dichotomy is what I find really sexy. Of she's going to go out and party and get drunk and throw up in an alley and go home with Kaji and regret it in the morning. and then just go to work the next, like immediately. She'll be there on time.
She's the female salaryman.
She's the female salaryman. Like it's
packing a $9 million in her pocket.
Yeah, I can get behind this girl. Shut up, Alex.
Oh, you would know.
Why
is that one blurred?
Oh, that's just her being drunk. I know too much Evangelion. I love how Google is now afraid of like the ahegao face.
Oh, because of its association
agao,
with
whatever.
ahegao.
Ahegao.
O-face. It used to be just called O-face.
Yeah, that's when she's making out with Kaji in the elevator. I remember that scene. Even when she gets reimagined and is a whole different character for the rebuild films, super cool. She's the captain of a fucking battleship in the rebuild films. God damn, Misato.
I have to see those. That's crazy.
Whole different ball game. God damn, Misato. Look at how cute she looks when she's bored.
It's just Shinji with long hair. I mean,
no, that's Shinji is Nadia with long
Shinji
hair.
Is Shuji. Shuji is Shinji. What did they ever mention what her background is?
What her background is?
Yeah, like her path, does she have like military experience or anything like that?
Well, her father, she's a major, so she has some kind of military background. So she was captain and she got promoted to major.
Okay. So she was like in the JSD or whatever.
Yeah.
Ava Universe militaries. Okay.
Her father was part of the expedition to the Antarctic.
Oh, to find Lilith?
Adam.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, she has family connections and she has a military background. That
hot.
I also really like this shot too of her walking. Do you remember? I know you can't see it, but do you remember underneath at our high school there was like a tunnel that connected the
dorm to the classroom building? Yeah.
Every time I walked through that tunnel, I felt like this shot.
You felt you were walking behind her though.
Yes. Well, I was hoping, but instead it was just some dude. It's very disappointing. Anyhow.
Was it?
Anyhow. Misato Katsuragi, Ritsu
Tanaka.
Is Ritsu short for Ritsuko?
Sure.
Okay. Ritsu, Tanaka, and Misato Katsuragi have topped the list. I just love when you were
last man standing. Battle Royale.
I just love that you were like, my favorite is a high school drummer. Oh, so good.
My favorite is an over-the-hill alcoholic woman with a gun.
That's true.
We need to double date.